Imagine this, you're out in the woods living your best hiker core life when suddenly you feel something squishy on your leg. You look down and bam, a slimy leech is having a 5-star meal on your calf. Your friend gasps, reaches for the salt shaker like it's garlic against a vampire, and you both descend into full-blown panic. But wait, before you nuke the poor thing with sodium, let's take a deep breath and zoom in on what's really going on when a leech latches on. Trust us, the truth is far weirder and more fascinating than you think. Meet the leech, nature's wiggly vampire. Leeches are, to put it delicately, squishy little bloodsuckers. These boneless invertebrates belong to the annelid family, making them cousins to earthworms. Except these guys skipped the compost bin and went full Dracula. With around 650 species identified so far, most leeches are freshwater dwellers, although a few are brave enough to hang out on land or in salty environments. And believe it or not all leeches want your blood. Most are chill scavengers, munching on dead stuff or tiny creatures. But then you've got the daredevils, the thrill-seeking few who dine exclusively on the blood of fish, amphibians, birds, and yes, occasionally humans. These are the ones that turn a forest swim into an accidental horror movie. The bite, stealth, science, and a dash of squelch. Leeches are heat-seeking, carbon dioxide-sensing ninjas. They can detect body warmth, movement, and even the CO2 you exhale. Some aquatic leeches are such overachievers, they swim directly towards you like torpedoes with teeth. The land-based ones are more subtle, inching toward warmth like a mini horror film in slow motion. Once they pick a spot, things get technical. The leech uses the sucker on its tail end to grip you securely. Think of it like a creepy seatbelt. Then using the sucker near its mouth, it releases an anesthetic. That's right, these slimy suckers drug you before the bite so you don't feel it happening. Polite, if a bit sinister. With the area nice and numb, the leech uses 3 jaws, yes, 3, lined with up to 300 tiny razor-sharp teeth to slice a small incision in your skin. Sound extreme, wait for it, it gets even weirder. Slurp mode activated? The real magic, or nightmare, depending on your perspective, happens in the leech's saliva. It contains an anticoagulant called hirudin, which stops your blood from clotting. This lets the leech sip away for 20 to 40 minutes, uninterrupted, like it's got an open bar and nowhere to be . During this time, the leech can consume up to 10 times its body weight in blood. That's like a 150-pound person chugging 1,500 pounds of smoothie. Impressive and slightly disgusting . Once it's had its fill, the leech lets go on its own, dropping off like a bloated little raisin. The bite site might keep bleeding for a while thanks to the lingering hirudin, and you'll probably notice some redness, swelling, or itching. For most healthy people, this is as dramatic as it gets. Should you freak out? Not really. Leech bites are usually harmless, unless you're the type to faint at the sight of blood. The real danger isn't the bite itself, but how you handle it. Some folks react to leech bites with mild irritation or swelling. Think of it like an annoying mosquito bite with extra flair. But if you go full DIY exorcism mode and try to yank, burn, or salt the leech off, that's when problems start. Why? Because leeches, when stressed, may regurgitate the contents of their stomach into the wound. Yeah, it's as gross as it sounds. That regurgitation can include bacteria, partially digested blood from previous victims, and other microbial joyrides just waiting to cause infection. This is why the old sprinkle salt on it trick can backfire spectacularly. It might make the leech detach faster, sure, but it also increases the risk of it barfing pathogens into your bloodstream. Delightful. How to remove a leech like a calm, rational adult. Before you go full medieval with fire and salt, let's talk about how to actually remove a leech without turning it into a biology experiment gone wrong. First, grab a clean, flat object. Think credit card, fingernail, or butter knife. Gently wedge it under the leech's front end, yep, that's the business end with the mouth, and ease it off. Once it loosens its bitey grip, repeat the process on the rear sucker. Voila! The leech should come off with minimal drama and zero vomiting from the leech, not you. No promises there. Dispose of it far, far away, preferably not on your hiking buddy's shoe. Clean the area thoroughly with soap and water, dab on some antiseptic, and slap on a bandage. Monitor the spot for any suspicious swelling, redness, or pus trying to audition for a horror movie. But wait, there's more. Leeches in medicine? Leeches aren't just squishy villains from your camping nightmares. They're also low-key medical heroes. In the world of modern medicine, especially in reconstructive and microsurgery, leeches are actually life-saving tools. Surgeons use them to restore blood flow in delicate tissues, especially after procedures like finger reattachments, skin grafts, or severe trauma repairs. When blood collects in a congested area and threatens to block healing, these little suckers get to work, drawing out the excess and keeping things flowing smoothly. The practice is called therapy, and yes, it's FDA approved. Medicinal leeches are bred in sterile labs, carefully monitored like tiny medical professionals in training. Each one is used only once. No repeats, no double dipping. So while you were busy screaming at one on your ankle, somewhere out there, another leech was quietly saving a toe. Turns out not all heroes wear capes, some wear slime. Trivia time, leeches are nerds in disguise. Now that we've explored their creepy habits and vampire antics, let's take a nerdy detour into leech trivia. First off, these gooey little creatures have a segmented nervous system with 32 ganglia, essentially 32 mini brains. Yes, you read that right. In terms of brain quantity, they might just outscore you. And let's talk about their bite. The blood-feeding leeches are equipped with 3 jaws, each lined with around 100 teeth, roughly 300 tiny razors working in perfect harmony like a horrifying dental orchestra. Some species can survive months without a meal, casually pulling off intermittent fasting like they're prepping for a protein shake photo shoot. They've also been around for millions of years, outliving the dinosaurs, the Roman Empire, and even disco. And in case you're wondering, the ones used in hospitals come with a fancy name, Hirudo medicinalis. That's right, sounds more like a boutique medication than something that slurps your blood. Nature's got jokes, and leeches are laughing quietly with their 32 brains. What happens if you get bitten by a lot of leeches? If your mental image involves a swampy jungle, tattered clothes, and a human pincushion crawling with leeches, congrats, you're not far off. While a single leech bite is more gross than dangerous, getting bitten by a whole squad of them can be a serious issue. In remote locations or for people with conditions like anemia, multiple bites can result in notable blood loss, enough to leave you dizzy, weak, or worse. This isn't just a jungle horror trope, it's a real medical concern in some parts of the world. Add to that the risk of secondary infections, especially if any of those leeches vomit bacteria into your bloodstream. Rude. And suddenly it's a full-blown health emergency. Children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable due to their lower blood volume and immune resilience. And if you're far from medical help, things can go downhill quickly. So while a single leech is just annoying, a leech party on your leg is your cue to make a quick exit and maybe rethink that swamp tour. If this leechy adventure didn't make your skin crawl too much, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for more wild, weird, and wonderfully gross science stories you didn't know you needed. Got a leech tale of your own? Drop it in the comments. We love a good squirmy story. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep those ankles out of the swamp.